There we go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we are talking about in-home pop-ups. In-home pop-ups are the basis of my business. It's really where I get the most of my sales, and that's where I meet the people that are in my VIP. My VIP right now really isn't huge for doing it the amount of time that I have, but everybody, I would say probably at least 90% of the people who are there are people who I've met through my in-home pop-ups. So I'm just going to kind of go through the steps I take from the second that somebody tells me that they want to host a pop-up to the end. And that starts with Hostess prep, which is very important. As soon as somebody tells me, as soon as I get somebody in the books, I make sure that I am friends with them on Facebook, because I always do my Hostess events through my personal page, because I want them to be private. I've at least found doing them from the business page, it always makes it public, and it makes everybody who has liked my page be able to see that, and then they see their address. So I always do it for my personal page so that it can be private. So you have to make sure that you're Facebook friends with them. And then whether, like if they book while they're at a pop-up or whether they message me, I give them a little packet. Sometimes I have to stick it in the mail. Sometimes they're right there to take it. And in that packet, I give them paper invites. I didn't do that in the beginning, but I found in the last couple of months, I've had hostesses requesting this. So I give them a packet of 25 invites. It actually looks like this. Here, I can take this out so you can see it, but I had these made with my business cards, and I printed them on Vistaprint. And when you do it when you order them that way, comes with envelopes. I stick a little $5 Lula cash in there and a little Sharpie. So I do that, and then I will stick my Hostess letter, which I can give you like an overview of what's in there. But I give them the letter because I find if I just message it to them, I don't think they really read it. I don't know if they read it this way either, but I feel like they're more apt to if they physically have it in their hands. And then I usually just stick in like a cheap little gift, like a notepad, or I found some cute little coasters that said "Be kind." It's really nothing extravagant, but it's just something additional to kind of thank them for booking with me. And in my Hostess letter, I talk about when they can expect me to set up the event. I talk about over-inviting. I explain to them that they want to at least get 10 people, if not more. And in order to do that, you need to invite 20 to 30 people if you want to try to get 10 people, because usually half or less are going to show up. I talk about what to expect when I show up. I ask them to help me, and I break down for them what's going to be in my car, how many bags, how many racks. So I ask that if they can't help me, if they have a husband or a friend or a teenager that could be there to help me unload my things. I explain to them payment options so that they can make sure their friends know what kind of payment they need. Let's see what else I have in there. I talk about my exchange policy. Clicking buttons. I talk about my exchange policy so they know what to expect with that. And I talk about, obviously, the Hostess rewards. So that's all in that little paper packet that I give to them. I talk about how important it is for them to also post often in the event that I create. I find that if I'm the only one posting, sometimes their friends don't really react. They don't know me. They know their friend who is the hostess. So I encourage them to comment and like everything that I post. And then I've started giving them a challenge of posting. I'll give them a specific number. Like, for example, I have a multi-hostess event coming up on March 12th. And I've challenged my hostesses to post at least 10 times between now and when that event starts, which is roughly 2 weeks. So over 14 days, I ask them to post at least 10 times. If they can do more, great. I tell them if they're self-conscious about selfies, go on Pinterest. Find styles that they like, styles that they know that I carry. Just talk about why they like LuLaRoe. If they have already shopped with me and know me, talk about why they like my business particularly. I usually set up my event about 2 weeks. My Facebook event is set up about 2 weeks before the event takes place. And I usually will start posting immediately. I will introduce myself. I will talk about the styles that I carry. I talk about LuLaRoe in general. And then I will also give my Hostess, it looks just like this, but I give them the digital version of this, except I'll go on like a free photo editing site, and I will actually put in all the info and save that as a digital file. And then I tell them that they should mail the invites out pretty much as soon as they get them, around that same time that we create the event. So about 2 weeks. That way the guests are getting them between 2 weeks to a week and a half before the event starts. And then I will tell them to use that digital file, and a couple days before, text and email that to everybody that they can think of. Because the reality is we all get so many Facebook invites, and usually they get lost in the shuffle, along with the paper invites. Some people might stick it on their fridge and remember it. Some of it, like me, it might get tossed in a pile on the island with all my kids' projects from school and completely get lost. So that day or two before reminder is really important. And again, just encourage them to think outside of the box when it comes to who they invite. Don't just stick to those 4 or 5 people that they're really comfortable with. Invite everybody that they work with. Some people need more guidance in that when it comes to who to invite. And then typically about the day before, I will reach out to them and just run through everything, make sure that they don't have any questions for me, to remind them of what time I'm going to come set up. Typically, I go about an hour before guests are going to arrive. This is usually plenty of time for me to unload the car, get everything set up. They can browse while I set up and ask me any questions that they may have. So that's the basics of my prep. Hostess rewards. Obviously, we all have to do the 1 free item for every 10 that sells. I personally recently quit counting leggings as half, but I mean, that's your personal choice. In addition to that, I always give my hostesses 20% off of their order if they decide to purchase something in addition to their rewards. I recently started doing that if they try on every dress style while they're there at the pop-up, so that their friends see them. They have to come out and show their friends and talk about what they like about the item. I will give them 50% off of any item on top of everything else that they're getting. I used to do that you'd get a pair of leggings just for hosting, but I've kind of backed off from that. But I will do that if they sell over 20 items, I will throw in an extra pair of leggings on top of their free items that they have earned. For each friend who gets in my schedule while they're up at this pop-up, the hostess will receive some Lula cash. I kind of decide in the moment, or I should say maybe per party. Like if I'm really desperate for some pop-ups, like last weekend, I gave them $10 Lula cash to spend at any time that they wanted for each person that signed up. And I booked like 4 more pop-ups. I filled my March. Sometimes I'll only do 5. Like if I'm not strapped to get a bunch of pop-ups, I might do like $5 Lula cash if they do that. And then, yeah, so that's the basics of what I would give the hostess. For those who book at the pop-up, so the hostess will also get, so if somebody books and then she goes to their pop-up, she will get 20% off of 1 item at that event. And so then if someone does decide to book while they are there, they will get this packet like I just showed you, their invites, their letter, all of that. I have a bunch of these pre-put together. I just wrapped this little packet in tissue paper and stuck it in one of my pretty cellophane bags that I use for shipping and tied a bow to it. They think they're getting a really cute little gift, and that's what they get if they book with me on the spot. I also just started doing this. Shannon gave us all this idea, but I do the neon envelopes. So if someone decides to host on the spot, they get to pick a color. And inside there, I have a bunch of different things. One may be a free pair of leggings, $10 off a maxi, $5 off of your order, just random little things that I feel like aren't that big of a deal for me to give away, but they feel like they're getting a little extra bonus. So if they book, they get to choose one of those. And then I also just started doing, because typically I would do like a free pair of leggings for the guests who come. But I started trying to give them more things they needed to do to enter. So I have, and I don't have it right here, but I have a little paper that I have it all typed up on, and it'll say legging giveaway or gift bag giveaway. And they have to do different things to get more entries. So just for showing up to the pop-up, they get an entry. For each item that they purchase, they get an entry. For liking my business page, because it's important to get those likes on your business page, they'll get an entry. Joining my VIP group. Usually, if it's somebody that's already in there, I'll give them that entry. And then if they book a pop-up, they get 3 more entries. So there's a lot of chances to get their name in there multiple times if they do all of the things on my list. This is getting me more activity on my Facebook. And I booked a pop-up through that. I believe she saw all the chances to win and, all of the opportunities I was giving her, and I booked a pop-up. And then they can use, again, with the envelopes, they can use that right then, or I let them save it for later if they want to. Let's see, what else? And the raffle really can be, and like it can be leggings. The last one I did, I put together just like a cutesy, I did like one of these mugs, and I stuck a pair of LuLaRoe socks in it. Like I try to change it up. And also with the multi-hostess things I've been doing, I will give those hostesses a little freebie just for doing that. So I'll do like I did these. Like I said, I stockpiled the socks, so I like to give away the socks. They love those. So I'll do, and for that, that's like a couple pop-ups in one shot. So what is giving them a little cup? It's just a little something extra. That's about it. That's how I run my pop-ups. Again, the more you give, the more you get. And I personally feel like because I've done so many pop-ups, that's how my VIP is growing, is through my in-home pop-ups for sure. And that's the basis of my business. So that's it. Go ahead and unmute you. Or I guess, Courtney, you have to unmute. Let's see. I'll look at the comments. Can you share the Etsy listing? Yes. I can send you guys the Etsy listing. And again, she did it custom for me. She put my info right on there. And I think she'll let you break it up. Like I bought like a business package, but I think you can get a package, or she'll let you pick and choose her designs to get what you want.
Did you get the plastic cups off of Etsy as well?
No, these were actually a local girl. I'm happy to share her Facebook page. I think they were like $7. So, I save these for like my big events. I'll either do them as part of like a bigger gift that I'm raffling for everyone, or like when I have an event where I have 5 hostesses and I know it's going to be a really big event, I use those for that. I also did my first ones. I did the little tote bags that said "Ain't no party like a pop-up party." They loved those. I try to change it up because I do have one girl who almost every month books that way with me. So I try to do a different gift each time, so she's not getting the same thing every time.
How, if you have a repeat hostess, how many months apart do you let them book?
Well, I mean, my girl Tressa has done a pop-up the last like 3 months. She's done once a month. Now we make sure that it's like the full month apart. And I've never sold less than 20 items at her pop-ups. The
Yeah.
last one, I think she was like at like 50 items. But she's a really good hostess. She works hard. She posts multiple times a day in the event. Like when at her pop-ups, I don't have to do anything. I mean, she really would actually be a really good consultant. She's helping putting together outfits. And I think that that really helps getting your hostess to be that way. Because her friend, I can do that, but her friends are going to be more comfortable with her and they're going to trust that she's being honest and she's going to tell them if it looks terrible. So yeah, and then like Erica, who just joined our team, she's booked a few with me, but hers were more spread out. I don't know, maybe it would be more based on how that first pop-up went. You know, that if you felt like those customers need more time, that maybe suggesting more like 6 or 8 weeks apart or something like that.
Does anyone have any questions? I think what I'll do is I'll mute everyone, and then if you have a question, unmute yourself, okay? One of the things that I heard today that I thought was a really good idea was to start saying, you know, offering birthday parties as a pop-up suggestion. So friends and family could, and you could do this online as well. Like I was thinking about it, a hostess, whether they're in home or online, like if they're online, they could share items that they love and it could kind of become like their wish list. And maybe, you know, their friends and family could be like, okay, this one I'm going to purchase for her or something like that. Or, you know, it's come shop, find something you love, and you're also, you know, helping me earn free clothes, which is a birthday gift to me. I thought that was a good idea. I don't remember who it was in our chat session, but I really liked it. I thought it was a really good idea. I can't remember if it was Amber. It was one of the new girls. And she said that she's going to have a bunch of firsts. Like, who was that? Do you remember?
I think it was Crystal, wasn't it?
Crystal?
Yeah, because I think Erica was asking for ideas, and I think Crystal said she was going to try to do that.
Yeah, I think it was Crystal.
I
was talking, realizing I was muted. I was like, yeah, Crystal. Because I forgot, and I didn't unmute. Anyway, continue.
Do you remember what she said? It was like first to come.
Yeah,
to book a pop-up.
Yeah, first to maybe buy, first spend $100.
Maybe like your first LuLaRoe purchase could be one.
Yeah. I can't remember what other firsts there were.
And then Cinnamon, you do the thing where if they try on 5 different styles, then they get $5 off. Is that right?
Yeah, I have done that before. I haven't done that as much recently. Just depending on, you know, maybe I'll do like a special that night where Carly's are $5 off, or, you know, pick a style or two or something like that. But yes, that I have done that if there's a good place for people to really try on stuff, because sometimes I get to a place and realize it's just not, you know, there's one place for someone to go and try on things, and if someone's in there with 5 different things and people are waiting or whatever.
Right. That's
something you might be able to decide on the spot too, like depending on the crowd. Like if people are trying things on and into it, then that might not be necessary. But if you feel like there's like this awkward, like nobody knows what to do, you could kind of on the spot throw that out there to get them motivated to try some stuff on.
Yeah, and I like what Becca said a while ago about not having the full-length mirrors in your bathroom, because then people, they automatically self-criticize themselves and they won't come out. for other people to see. And so I thought that was a really good idea, not to have the full length mirrors in your bathroom. That way it forces them to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was on another training with like somebody higher up that suggested that, and I thought that was brilliant, and it's worked out well, because you're right, because I mean, you do that even at a store. You think, oh, that doesn't look good, so you don't even come out and show anybody. But this forces them to come out, and then everybody in the room is like, oh my gosh, it looks amazing. So it changes their perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can take it out and leave it in the room, and someone takes and puts it in the bathroom anyway, and then you leave it at your last pop-up like I did this Saturday.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
I think it's only a $5 Walmart
I
mirror.
was gonna say, I hope it was cheap.
I do if they try on something of every style, as long as I carry it in their size, and they go into a raffle for something, whether it's a free pair of leggings or a Lindsay or whatever I decide to throw in that night.
That's a good idea. You could add that, like I could add that to my list of things to do to get more points, you know.
Yeah,
Towards-
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anyone put together any swag bags? Like, that's a question that I see a lot, is what do you put together in your swag bags? What do you put in there?
Well, the only time I've really done swag bags was we did them when we did like a multi-consultant. And actually the one time we did these mugs, that's why I have so many. And then I actually got a bunch of stuff donated. Like I supported other businesses. Like we have, there's like a women's group on Facebook for women that are local to me. And I went on there and said, hey, you know, we're having this really big event. Is there anybody who would like to donate a coupon or a sample or, you know, anything with your business information attached? And we had bags full of stuff and people were thrilled. We did like the first 25 people that were there got a swag bag, and it got tons of people in the door. But I've never done them for just like an in-home Hostess pop-up.
Actually, I was thinking about doing that for my one that's coming up this weekend. I was going to do it last weekend, and I just ran out of time to actually get to the store to get anything. But I've done it at Christmas time for an open house, where the first 5 or whatever it was that came and put like Lula Cash and a mug, and, you know, candles were in some or whatever, and candies and stuff. But I did hear on one of the training, I think you listened to this one too, Jenna, that I forget her name now, what she puts in hers are like what you show with the invites to hand out to your friends. She also mentioned Shannon in it, that it was her who gave her the idea to put the Sharpie, and that how everybody just loved the Sharpie for a reason. So that was in there, and then she did her letter. So it was very similar to what you give as a gift, but that was her swag bag. And then maybe she'd throw in a pair of leggings or, you know, a little gift, more gifty type idea. And that's what everybody gets if they book a party on the spot and get their, you know, a date on the calendar.
Yeah.
And I've also heard of telling your hostess that if she can get 3 parties booked on her own, you know, during her party, if she can get 3 of her friends to book parties with you, offer her an item, either another free item or an item half off, if she can get 3 parties booked by the end of her party. I've heard of doing that. That way she's the one doing the work. You know, she's letting her friends know how easy it was, and it helps you out. There's 3 parties.
Yeah, I would say it's totally worth it for 3 more parties, you know.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say was, I know Jill uses, and I actually am using it now too, per Jill's advice, but online Google Forms that she sends to her hostesses, and it's basically like an agreement. It lets them know, this is what I'm going to do for your party, but this is also what I expect of you. I need you to do this. Do you agree? Do you have questions? And she goes step by step, like, this is what you need to be doing during your party, or before your party and during your party, and they have to agree to it. So do you do that, Jenna, or are you thinking of doing that?
I'm thinking of it. I don't, and I have to say, it's gotten better over time. I was not good at the hostess prep in the beginning, and it showed. You know, I would have hostesses who would do hardly anything, and the sales reflected what the hostess did. So I've gotten better about just communicating with them more. And I don't know if I want to say being firm, because that doesn't sound very nice, but really keep just reiterating what I need from them. And it's definitely helped.
Right.
But I think that's a really good idea, because it's kind of forcing them to read that letter that they may just toss in the garbage if I just hand it to them.
Right. Another thing that I know Shannon does is the early bird raffle. So she will post it in the group the day before and the day of, and she says, if you arrive within 30 minutes of the start time, there will be a special discount, and all those people that are there will get that discount off their purchase. And so she always has it like a little raffle app on her phone, and she has those different discounts that she offers, like 25% off a free a top, or $5 off your order, or $1 off every item. You can pick whatever discount you want to give. So what she does is, during the first 30 minutes, she will walk around and write down the people's names that are there. And then out loud, she will be like, okay, I'm getting ready to do the early bird discount. And she'll announce it out loud for those people to hear of what they just won for being there 30 minutes on time. And that kind of helps keep the party on track as well. So you don't have people showing up, 10 minutes before the party's supposed to end, and then you're trying to pack up and it's still going. So I like that idea too.
Becca, didn't you do something similar at your launch here in a week?
Yeah, I do an early bird special. I mean, I have not done a lot of in-home pop-ups, but like for my open house, I do a monthly open house, and the pop-ups that I have done, I do post the early bird. I got that idea from Shannon.
I also try to stay pretty strict on, I tell them an hour and a half. It always goes longer than that, but I tell them an hour and a half, and at that hour and a half mark, I try to get, if there's people still straggling, I try to get my hostess to help me move them along, so we're not there for 5 hours.
Do you have your hostesses shop prior to the party starting?
I try to make them to. They don't always do it. I try to get them looking as I'm setting up. I try to encourage them to shop with their shoppers, to be setting things aside. Some of them are good about it, and then some of them, as I'm ready to try to pack my stuff up, they're trying to pick out their rewards, which can be frustrating, but yeah, I try.
Did you get the black coffee mugs off of Etsy too?
No, a local girl actually ordered hundreds of them, and so I bought a bunch of them. I'll have to ask her where she got them. It was somewhere online, but I think she got a good deal. I think they were $5 or less a piece. But I can find out where she got those.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. And you can always put swag bag ideas like Lula Cash. You can put $5 off. I love the idea of the balloons. I've never done it, but I know Shannon has done it before, where she has specific colored balloons, and if you spend $50, you get a pop a red balloon, and it will have a coordinating discount, in that balloon, and then so on and so on. So the more you spend, then the higher your discount is going to be, or whatever the giveaway is in the balloon. But I like that idea. It's kind of fun, to pop the balloon and see what you get. And then she also does the scratch off cards, to where if you spend $100, you get a scratch off card to use on a future purchase. I love that idea too. And she will do, the raffle tickets. I did that at my last one. I just bought a big thing, and, kind of like what Jenna does with the raffle, one entry to get the free item, whatever it is she's giving away. Well, I just did free leggings, but I gave them their tickets, and I put the other, the 2 tickets. And so I would give them their set, and I'd put the other set in the jar. And then after the end of the party, after everyone was gone, I went live in the party group, and I read, I had Greg pull the 2 tickets. I went ahead and gave away 2 free pairs of leggings, and I read the ticket number, and that makes them have to come back to get the leggings, and most times they're going to shop more. So that's a good idea as well. Does anyone else have any good ideas or tips or advice for in-home pop-ups or hostess prep that you've used that has been successful? or giveaways? Anything? No? Okay. Well, my whole point with these trainings is to make sure that they're short and sweet but effective. So hopefully you got an idea or two. If you have any future questions, I'm going to post this recording in the team group, and then you can just comment on it and ask. And then Jenna, if you could post the Etsy listings
Yep, I can.
on that once I post the recording, and that way they're there for good.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
I hope you all have a good night. And I'll talk with
They're
you.
all,
They're all you muted, but everyone's so quiet.
Feel better. Hope you feel better. Hope you get answers soon.
Thank you, Jessie. I go to the orthopedic
Thank you.
tomorrow
Feel
morning.
better.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. I hope you have a good night.
Bye. Thank you, Jenna.
Bye.
Thanks, Jenna.
yep. Bye, guys.
Thank you, love.